Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house. Hey, Coach, how you doing? Oh, we have really been enjoying this series and we look forward to continuing with it. I just want everyone to know that Coach has been so gracious. I'm telling you, if you have not taken advantage of this, you need to go back and watch all the replays because it's just fundamental and it's going to help you build not only a profitable business, but a profitable life. So with that, we're going to turn it over to Coach Caren and all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house and we're excited. Coach, we love you.
Thank
What's
you.
up? What do you have for us today?
So today we're going to continue. We're doing a series on staying focused on your goals in life. So the first one we looked at was the emotional goals and
Uh-huh.
it's staying focused to meet your physical goals. And today we're talking about staying focused to meet your financial goals. And next week we'll talk about growth goals. So
Okay.
we cover those other two. The physical goal is staying positive and keeping your mind really churning in the right direction. And today we're going to look at three things in terms of the financial goals. And I'm quickly going to go over them and then we'll get into the conversation. So, what are the three types of financial goals you can think of? So, think about the goals that you can think of and get in there and get them out of your head and on a paper and then eventually something, maybe put it on your phone, maybe have it as part of your um, wallpaper on your phone, something to keep you motivated and paying attention to it. But you can come up with your own thing. If you have a home office, put it up on your wall. I talked to a client the other day and I said to her, I don't care where your office is, if it's in the dining room or the kitchen, when you go to work, I want you to get all your work things and have them around you because that's your office. Let everybody know. They're going to be mad at initially, but that's okay. Let everybody know that you're at work and you're going to use the dining room for 2 hours. Don't be afraid and just be prepared. They're going to be pushed back. They're going to be upset. They're going to pass up and down. Let them until they come out of their system because that's your space right now. Your job is to get you out of the dining room, but in the meantime, that's all you got. That's the kitchen. That's what you got. Wherever you start, you start. Don't worry the people who start otherwise. Don't wait. Just get moving. So, but planning these parts of it helps you to do so. And how will you feel when you hit those financial goals, right? And
Mm.
then what do you think is the time set up for financial goals for your business year? And this is what you have to understand. Everybody year doesn't start in January. Okay. I started looking at my years. My planning things start, as Terry know, in October, November. And I look at my year from my birthday onwards. So I just turned 61 a couple of weeks ago. And so my year start then. And I'm looking, to the next birthday. Your birthday for your business could be whatever date you start your business. This is why I love to tell people when you are framing your business, decide on a date you want to open. And if the clouds are opening and there's a snowstorm, still open your business on the day you say you're going to open it. Now, if there's a place you have to go physically, we have all these equipment now, stream it and talk about the opening. If
Mm.
you can be there. But if you're online, you are the easy part. Get on a live, show your website, walk people through it, let them know you're open for business. Tell everybody you meet that you open a business. Be as excited as possible. Go to the supermarket, buy something, tell the cashier that I just business. I'm so excited. Find a conversation with somebody in the grocery store. Talk to them. You went to pick up your medication. Talk to the pharmacist. I want you to be so excited that you know that you've tell over 10 people.
Mm.
And don't worry about if they're going to buy, because I
Mhm.
promise you, they will remember you long after this conversation, how excited you were that you opened. So, within a year, if you'd open the business on the 26th of March, every year, the 26th of March is an anniversary. And I tell you, you're up to 5 years and you wouldn't even realize it. When I opened my first business, I remember when a little girl, as I tell people all the time, and when I was on my fourth year, because from 9, I was about 30 when I was in my fourth year, I was like, I'm in business for 4 years. Like, it's a big thing.
Time does pass.
Right? It's going to pass anyway. Right. And so that's why we want to look at the financials, because we get to see, the first year, a lot of things happen. It's like, I just returned to my walking again. Right. And I got myself on a 100-day walk. And so today's my 3rd day. And so I've got 97 more days to go. And that's what you got to see it as. When you open this business and you're looking at your goals, whether it's a 30 and 90 day or whatever timeline for each thing, the reason I want you to pay attention to it is because if it doesn't work out, if things are not lining up how you want it, you've got a chance to go in and fix it. But if you don't know, you don't have nothing to fix. That's what a goal is really for. Sometimes people get so focused, I'm not meeting the goal. But what are you not doing to meet the goal, right? So let me sip some water. We're going to get into this.
Yeah. And I'd like you to repeat that, because that was really interesting that we get over-focused on the goal.
We get into the goal and I want to hit my goal. I want to hit my goal. What I learned last year is I'm going to talk about the walk, and I'm going to talk about money in a minute and why they correlate. When I get into my walk, and my daughter was going to the gym and I was doing my walk, and I would fall down a lot of times, meaning I wouldn't complete it. I'll fall off. I'll start back. I'll fall off. I'll start back. And I recognized that I didn't have a goal. I was just walking. I was going to go walk. I said to myself, Caren, when do you think you really want to start? And when you start, could you do it? And for how long? And I answer those questions. I could do it for 84 days when I look at the calendar, because it's going to give me a day before Christmas Eve to be done, because I was starting in October. And my mind was telling me it's too late in the year to start. I was like, nope, I can do it. 84 days. And what I want to achieve, what I want to acquire, what is this for? I asked all those questions of myself, and then I wrote the answer. And I began to walk. And the walking day was a Tuesday. And so myself was arguing with self about, why don't I wait till next Monday? And I said, because it's Tuesday and I'm going to do it on a Tuesday. Period.
I love it.
A friend of mine, I was telling her, she says, kind of like this part. I said, when you start your business, you can, when you're looking at your financial goals, pay yourself hourly, because that's what you know. If you know hourly, I come from a place where I pay per project. So I never was hourly until I got a job. But if you pay yourself, if you come from this hourly segment that's in your brain, pay yourself hourly with the potential towards project. Okay. So let's say, I'm going to go to the bare minimum, whatever your minimum wage is. So Canada is about $17.20 for minimum wage right now. And so you would want to pay yourself either $17.20 or $18, right? So give yourself $18 an hour and accept that you're in trainer's mood. So you're in training, right? That's it. So your training pay is $18 an hour. And you have to decide. So this is number one goal. In the next 3 months, not 3 weeks. Don't listen to that nonsense. I'm going to be trained. In the next 3 months, I'm going to learn these, 5 to 7 skills, whatever they are. And while I'm learning them, my pay is only $18 an hour, which means if I'm only working 2 hours a day, that's $36 a day. And if I'm working 5 days a week, multiply the 36 by 5. And I want to put the number down. And I want to put all this down, that you're in training, how much you're getting paid, how much time you're putting in. And I want you to put it down. The days you don't show up for work, you can't be paid. This is going to set your mind thinking about how you're going to be paid. Because right now, you don't have the money to pay yourself. I get it. But don't worry about the money. Worry about how you're setting the pace. And so everything that you're doing in your business is on the understanding that you're going to be paid eventually. So that's why you're setting this pace. Don't leave this out. This is going to propel you to do everything in your business so your business can actually make money versus play around in making money. Because you got somebody to be paid. If you had somebody working with you and you offer a job to them where for 3 months you're going to work for me and I can't pay you, but I will pay you on month 4. And some people say, Well, who's going to do that for you? Well, interns do it all the time.
They do. They do.
And if you have a good intern, most people hire them eventually. You your own intern if you want to do it that way. Okay. But I still want you to put that number down because I want you to see what you're working towards. So now you know that by month 4, you have to be able to pay the intern, AKA you. So the things you got to do, you go do them. If it's a physical thing, you got to know how long it takes you to source, run production, run operations. Yes, this is your business. You have to know how to do those things. And while you're being an intern, you got to perfect these systems and get them in place so that the next 3 months, now that you're off probation and you're starting to get pay, I don't care how much more money you could make. I still want you to pay yourself that money with whatever percent interest you decide, 3%, 5%. Years ago, I don't really do it now. I still have some running because it's going to end, I think, in a year or two, where I give myself a bonus. I give myself a raise of pay. So everything is staggered. I know when that time is coming. Just like how I have my vacation is in there, how I'm saving for my vacation. Like all these things are written in my spreadsheet. So I can go to it and look at it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You want to know. So I'm going to go to vacation. Let's say I'm taking 2 vacations this year. Me and hubby's taking one. Me and the whole family's taking one. Let's say 1 year where we did that. I knew at the time it was going to cost me $10,000. How are we doing it? How are we paying for it? What is spending money? What is the budget for clothes? All this stuff is happening. And everything, he used to be annoyed with me, but everything is written down. And once it's getting close, he's like, "Can't you have all the numbers?" Because then he's getting excited now. He didn't want to do it. He's like, "So how much each child is getting?" Like, great. So now when we leave, we got the meeting before we leave. We're leaving. We're talking to everybody, and we're saying this is going to be your spending money. This is what we're going to. A lot of times it's cruises, so this is what we're going to put on the card on the cruise. So this is what you can spend on the swipe. So if you enjoy yourself the first night swiping, you're going to be done swiping.
It's over. Yeah.
And you want to see how my kids control their finances.
I found it's always different when they have it in their hand. It's like, oh, this is what I have. Suddenly, everything is not a need or a want.
Exactly. Everybody's looking. It's like, maybe I'll go to the special restaurant this day, but I'm not going on Thursday. I don't care who is going. Or I'm going to go to this party because, they got stuff happening on the cruise.
I see.
My kids watching the money. But when I was paying, people were just,
girl.
I go to, because I like to get my final bill before I leave the cruise ship. And I know they didn't see I don't know if they look at my face, but I was like, run that again.
I didn't buy a robe.
I'm saying this to you guys because this is exactly what happened in your business. A whole set of money is coming in now. And you're thinking about all the things you can buy. But if you had decided how you're going to pay you also would have allotted money for the business growth. So if you're a sewer and you had a simple machine, you want to get into industrial machine, now you start catering and having business monies, hi doc, towards the industrial machine and towards a better cutter. When I was doing design, I cut with the scissors. And then of course I upgraded to electric cutter and I upgraded to an industrial sewing machine. I upgraded to different storage bins. I upgraded to buying in bulk now. And so all these things was planned for. So I know within 6 months I could buy these things. And in another 6 months I could buy these things. And that's what you have to look after. If you're a service provider, now you're looking at apps that you're paying for. It's the same thing apply. When do I need this service and this service? Don't pay for everything at once. And then you look at it and you use it and you see if you really need them all and keep what is necessary, get rid of the rest and have them as a maybe that they'll come back in when the business makes X amount of dollars. Because you want it to be making X amount of dollars so you can do it. And I want you to stay focused. because this is what this series is about staying focused on the things we're talking about, right? So you find your 3 type of financial goals that you want to think of. Growing, whether it's, getting money to grow the business, saving money to expand the business, all these sorts of things. I know some businesses need to go and get grants and stuff, so I'm not oblivious to it. But when you understand how you spend your own hard saved, invested money, it's easier to get money because you've got things to talk about. You can change somebody's mind when you can talk because they've seen you. And I remember the first time, I'm always a make my own money kind of gal, but this is in Guyana. I remember the first time I borrowed my first big money, and to me it was big. It wasn't a big money, but it was big money. It was I think it was about $6,000 or $7,000. I did not finish my pitch, and I got a yes.
Oh, see,
because I was able to say what it's going to do. Thank you, girl. I was able to say what I'm going to do with the money. The length of time I needed for what I'm willing to put up for it. And he was like, what I see you could do? No. He offered 10,000 and I said to myself, no, I just need 7. I wanted to stay right there and I was able to pay it back. I think I paid back in less than 60 days. So our interest was like
0.
And so I got those things in place. I got those people in place. I paid them. And so we were just working it. And so you need to know to get you to this next place. Okay. That's what you want to do. And when you feel, how you feel when you hit those goals, keep that adrenaline. I often tell my mom, when you're not feeling good and you start feeling good, when you're sick, I want you to remember how it felt to not be unwell. I want you to remember those feelings. When I had the cold and I was feeling terrible, one night I could hardly sleep. And I keep tossing and turning. And I said to myself, Caren, how you want to feel tomorrow? Like, let's not focus on what's going on today. Yeah, you got a stuffy nose. Yeah. Like, what do you want tomorrow to be like? And I started living into that. Next thing you know, I was off to sleep. And when I get up next morning, yes, I wasn't fully well healed, but I was feeling much better. And I started looking forward to what I want to see for the next few days. I want rest. I'm feeling better, but I want rest. Don't ask me about food, people. I'm not cooking anything. If you want to serve up some soup to me, great, thank you. But don't come to me for nothing. I made that statement. Everybody's like, watch him, like, yep. Don't talk to me. Don't come for me for things. Not available because my body needed a rest to get back to what I got to do. That's the other thing, guys. I want you to live into that feeling. And I want you to don't be like Coach in this specific regard. When I get too excited, I can go off on a whole week sometime too. Getting all excited and forget. Take the time you say you're going to take and don't overstay your time, okay? So if you're going to take a week off to enjoy and feel good, don't take 2. I did it. Take 1 week. That was in the business, my cleaner business. I remember taking 2 weeks off and a client is trying to reach me and he can't. And he was one of my big clients. I had him for like over 6 years at a time. And we were close. I had him for a long time. Was a real estate giant, you would call him. He couldn't find me. He came looking for me. He's like, Caren, I've got about 3 houses and I can't get a hold of you. What's going on? Rental property, flip, and have people from corporations, Johnson & Johnson, a whole bunch of them used to rent from him. So we would go in and do the big clean and do the maintenance. He had us as maintenance. So once they get a client in that's going to spend a year or 2, then we'll be in the house. My girls will be in the house for that full 2 years contract. And he's like, my wife is like, go find Caren and don't try to find anybody else because you know you're going to be upset later. So, he was a good dude, but take your 1 week so you could, or if you can take the 2, then have somebody fill in, right? And I had a girl could have filled in, but at the time I wasn't thinking. I was happy in the business. The business was doing great. So I was just like excited. I was like,
everything was moving and grooving. Yes, gotcha.
But yeah, so you want to have those things in place, right?
My goodness, everything was clicking. You got excited.
A little too excited. Carl had to come find me. He's like, Caren, what are you doing, girl?
But see, this is why you want those systems that you talk to us about all the time.
Yes.
So that it can sort of be on auto, that your customers will at least get a response from a human being.
Exactly.
Because in this day and age, I think people are really looking for businesses that have a human factor.
That was one of the things that he liked about, he can reach out to me. And those are the things that taught me also, even if I'm not available, if he could talk to my girl, Sandy, then she will get back to me. At least he's hearing somebody's voice. He's like, I don't want to just leave a message. This is big stuff we're talking about. I need to know. Like, I need to know that you're available for this chunk of time. I need to know we don't have to think about it. We don't have to find anybody, and that's the thing. But has really helped me in understanding that people, they want to know that you're going to do what you say you're going to do.
Exactly.
They want to know if there's a problem, they can reach out to you. And when you really get really good clients, they might not call you for that specific thing, but they might need help in a different area that you might not even think of, or they couldn't think of at the time. But eventually, you just create such a bond with each other that now you're talking about different things. You're doing different things for them. And your business is growing in a different way. Because when you get good clients, I always tell people, when you get good clients, you feel like you live in a dream. I tell you, when you get good clients in that specific field, they hand you the keys and you're good to go. If there's a problem, they're coming to you first. Karen, there's a flood happening at Batters and what have you. Do you know a good plumber? You know anybody is in so now I'm taking people's number and I'm referring good people who are going to be on time, do the work, and that happened over time. Like I remember he had this big renovation going on and had this guy would come in, pull the wires, and then we would clean it, and then something would happen, he'd come back in and pull the wires. And I said to him one day, I said, listen, when you finish pulling all the wires, we'll come and do the finish. Stop pulling wires, costing Carl a bunch of money for no good reason. We're going to have to get a new electrician, you see. And I was just pulling him up because I could see that what he was doing. And afterwards, we went outside and he said to me, he says, can I talk to you outside? I'm like, why? He's like, there's cameras in here. I'm like, what? But where I was, they're not. I said, so why would you still do that? He goes, because he doesn't watch them. Well, guess what happened? Carter had actually decided to watch those videos over time and see the nonsense he was doing. But because I speak up to him and tell him not to do that, that's the only reason Carter kept him on. And Carter and I talk about it. So you got to be mindful in people's place, but you got to be mindful for yourself before people. I said, if you're cleaning, I often tell my girls, if you're cleaning as though, because God is watching you, you don't have to worry about missing the dust. You don't have to worry about a corner. You don't have to hide. You understand? You go in and you do the job. You don't have to worry.
A character is what you do when nobody's looking. Or you think nobody's looking, but like you said, God is always looking.
Just come in and do the work. When I had the ladies working in my food area, you come in, today's coconut day, today's a nut day, today's whatever day you come in to do. I say, come in and get it done. You know that you're coming in to do 100 coconuts. There's no if or but. Get 100 coconuts because I'm paying you. Like, don't try to do 80 and tell me something pop up. You come to do 100 coconuts. Like, you won't be able to continue working for me. That's just the way it is.
Well, 20 a day is 100 a week. You start multiplying that out over the year.
Girl. The business was doing good. Everybody knows I'm a queen for bonuses. Like, I'm a bonus queen. I have this thing in me since I was like in my teenage years. I feel if you give somebody a little extra that they're not expecting, they're always so appreciative. Now, the scammers, the people who don't want to work, forget it. They're not going to do it. We're not talking about those. But we're talking about people who really want to work. and do the good job, and you offer them a little something else on the top, year one, year two, most people work for me for years. When I left
Mhm.
Guyana and I came here, there was a couple of people out jobs because they didn't know that I was leaving, and they
Mm.
stayed up until the week of. And I keep saying, you better go get out of job because of that. I don't think part of them, they didn't want to leave. They didn't want to leave
Mhm.
because, not to boast, but I was a good employer, you know, and
Well, we know when we are operating from the heart, and
mhm,
it's just true.
true,
It's
true.
just true.
That is true. She said, "Kind, I don't know if I'm going to get a job when you leave. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I don't know. I've worked other places and comfortable. I can get my work done. I'm not micromanaging. You know what you come in to do, you get it done. I don't want to watch you. I just want you to do it. So when I have jobs, that's how I approach my jobs. I go into work and I get my work done. I'm always praised about that, but I'm like, so what else would I do other than do the work? But when employers have had people who didn't do the work and then I show up, they're like,
You can see the contrast. And I think it is difficult to find someone who is consistent with their enthusiasm, their concern, their empathy, their willingness to put in the work. And when you find that person, they do deserve a bonus.
yeah, that's how I see it. They do deserve that little extra home. You know, when I was washing dishes, I told my kids when I'm washing dishes. When I had my second kid and I went back to work, everybody said to me, "Oh my God, Caren, this place was dead without you." I was
Mhm.
washing dishes, but I sang every morning, Terry. I cleaned the whole place up before I start my dishes, and I had things moving up, just moving through.
Mhm.
I probably part of the lowest paid person at the time, but I cared about the dishes being clean and on time and organized because that was my job.
Mhm.
That's it. So when you start a business, guys, whatever you're doing, even if there's parts of it that you don't like, at some point you're going to hand this over. But you got to do it well and set up a training so that the person you're handing it over to can do a fantastic job.
I tell you, people really, really underestimate training.
So much. So much. A
It,
woman was asking in my cleaning group about why would she need to know to clean and she can't just open a cleaning business. And everybody was like, girl, don't open a cleaning company if you don't like to clean. Just stay away. Just stay away. A gentleman put it this way. He says, here's what I would say to you. Just hire a cleaning company and let them clean your house for you. But you stay away from that stuff and don't copy what they're doing because you're not going to do it because you don't like it. Which means even if you buy a training program, you can't correct anything. And I bought a training program before. And if you don't know to clean, the training program to me is helping you to organize, but it doesn't do a good job for your specific company and the way
mhm.
you want the people clean for your company.
Mhm.
You want it to be done in a certain way to suit whatever your company goals, believes in, financial gain, and all. It's so much things wrapped up in the training that I personally like to do my own training. I bought it to see the difference, but I still went back to how I train and what
Mhm.
I do. When I train people, I want them to come in and show me what they can do versus just giving them a video and let them do it. Because everybody's got things that they're good at. And so I steal from them to give back to them the things they're good at. So the
Mhm.
person is really good in a certain area. I let them be good at that area. And then I teach the other areas because there's no point moving from the thing the person is good at. Plus, people come in with ways that you mightn't think of, right? That
Yes.
can make it so much better. They just
Mhm.
don't know it themselves because nobody told them and they never observed themselves
They
doing it.
valued it. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So when somebody come in and I say a bathroom should only take you 15 minutes to clean, and when you really get good at it, it's 12 minutes. The person who don't know about speed and good quality look at me and go, "Oh no, that's a half an hour." Unless a lot of things are packed up, it's not half an hour. unless it's really dirty. When it's really dirty, it's an hour. So you know right away. But you can't give an estimate if you don't know how long it takes, proper
Mhm.
estimate, to clean a bedroom, a washroom. Those are the core, and the kitchen, living, dining, all those areas we could talk about, but you got to know those cores. Anyway, we're going to end this one right here
Yeah.
because
For the
we cover a bit.
review.
We cover a bit. We talked today about staying focused on your financial goals, and that top question is the key. Find three things that you want your company to achieve financially, and I want you to work towards it. I want you to set it up. Be the intern if you're starting out new and you need to learn some skills. Whatever intern would get, go investigate, find out what our number look like, put it on a spreadsheet, Google Sheets, whatever, get it there. And then when do you want to raise the pay? Within the probation or within 6 months? Raise the pay for yourself. And then raise it again at the end of the year and give yourself a bonus. You'll be smiling that you're making keychains, earrings, or hats, and now you got a better salary. And so every time you raise your pay, you'll feel better, but your business will still have money and you'll be able to employ people eventually because that's how your business grow. And we're going to talk about growth next week. So
There you go. Coach, you know, I love the way you simplify things. It's just, it's a good thing. And guys, don't overcomplicate this.
no,
Don't overcomplicate this. Set those financial goals and expect to meet them. We want you to know that you can always find Coach Caren over at Profits in Daily on Facebook and on Instagram. She is the bomb.
thank you.
She's really good and she's talented in a number of business areas. She's run multiple types of business over the course of her lifetime. She's been in childcare. She's run a cleaning company. She's manufactured garments. I mean, this lady is well rounded. So if you're looking for a coach, I highly recommend Coach Caren to help you walk through all the things that you need to know about how to run a profitable business that's fun to run. Now, Coach Caren can be reached here as far as making an appointment. We want you to know that you can always go there. I will put that in the chat for those of you who want to book an appointment with Coach Caren because you know what? It's always good to have someone else looking at your stuff. Okay, let's just get real. Okay. So with that, that's one way to get in touch with Coach Caren, or you could direct message her over on her Facebook page or her Instagram. In addition to that, we want you to know that if you're looking to become a part of BizChicks, simply text biz to 33777 and join the BizChicks community. Or you can find us over at bizchicks.net. We'd love to share with people what it is you do and how you serve. With that, we want to remind you that this is the place to come to take the hassle out of your hustle. Have a great day, everyone, and we will see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.